So press record, spin that shit. You know what I'm saying? We'll start talking right negative.
Let's do this shit.
In a world where defending your reputation meant everything and credibility was established through style and originality, graffiti was born. For the last 40-plus years, through fights, wars, and raids, writers sacrificed everything to develop the art of writing. Now, Graph Stars will give you a front-row seat into the minds of some of the most influential writers of our time.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, so we got D1 NYC, aka Dualism, you know, originator from New York, you know what I mean? Introduce yourself a little bit.
Baby. All right, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, thank you for having me out here, you know, freaking Dual One, RIS, MCI, Queens product, you know. Started writing in 1984 under another name for a couple years, and then switched it on over to in 1986 to Dual, and that was pretty much it, you know.
Yeah,
but
what
freaking
else? What are you doing now? So so D didn't stop back then, right? So what are you doing now besides all that good stuff? What else you got going on?
All right, so right now I am trying to transition from the graffiti world into the fine art world,
Mm-hmm.
and so you know, it's a lot different. You know, it's like being toy all over again, kind of, sort of. You know, but not really.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, different type of toy.
You know, yeah, exactly. I got the street cred and everything, but you know, street cred and gallery cred, they two separate things, man. They don't mean a damn thing to anybody.
Right.
You know.
Right.
All right, maybe not to everybody, but most people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on it right now. You know, I'm still a student to the game, trying to expand and trying to network and trying to build. It's only been actually a year since I've kind of like been doing what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I mean, it's still in its earliest of infancy stages, and I'm still evolving and everything else. So. I just got to keep at it, you know, and hopefully it'll lead to bigger and better things, you know, in the future. But if anyone is interested in checking it out, then go to at 7 Line Art Studio on Instagram, and that's the number 7 Line Art Studio at Instagram. Or if you can go to my at D1 NYC page on Instagram, the link is on the bio. So either way, you can find it, you know, and you can see the artwork for yourself. And see the evolution from when I started to current right now.
Gotcha. So what? You know, I mean, that's a good look. You know, I'm glad you put that plug in because you know, the D1 NYC has a really nice organic following that you've been curating for quite a while, and the 7 Line, you know, the 7 Line page also, you know, what I'm saying is definitely getting to where it needs to be. What kind of put the, you know, the taste in your mouth to do that, to go from the gritty graph world, you know, into now the fine arts, you know, what made you make that step?
Well, all right. So, you know how it is, man. I was bombing for a while. I was in the service for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was overseas. You know, I was taking advantage of the fact that I was overseas to, you know, do a little spraying and shit.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I ran into a pair of jerk-offs. And, you know, one of them got busted. He was just a sloppy kind of dude.
Yeah.
And, you know, he ratted on everyone there. You know what I'm saying? And when it came to ratting, you know what I'm saying, he ratted me out in a way that was just, like, way over the top. Like, he didn't just talk about the situation or give the other kid and myself up.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy went as far as to try to tell my whole bio and everything and point out all the spots that I did, to, you know what I'm saying, and all my social media contacts and everything.
Damn.
And so being in the service, you know, when law enforcement was notified, you know, I'm not going to say what country it was.
Right.
You know, once they was notified, it, they notified, you know, military, law enforcement,
Right.
basically NCIS, and it turned into a real shit show for me. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
They started investigating, and
Mhm.
this investigation took a real long ass time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Was real thorough with it too, man. So
Yeah.
it was crazy. I mean, they was working together between, you know, two other countries,
Mhm.
and it just turned real bad. I mean, you know, I love graffiti,
Yeah.
you know, and I was out there putting it out there, you know, but you know, I mean, for the love of the game and shit. But you know, I almost sacrificed my career and my family over the whole entire thing, and so like, you know, I had to, you know, to you know, still be able to paint
Mhm.
in peace without putting any more risk to myself or my family, and still have an outlet to express myself. You know, I started painting different things.
Mhm.
You know, watercolors. It started off with like some watercolors, and then I started doing some abstracts, and then later on it led to you know, painting masks from different cultures, and then I put a new spin on it by abstracting that, and I'm at where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? So it, you know, it was a good steady evolution until I
Mhm.
found my actual niche. So I'm kind of happy with that. You know, it sucked that I went through what I went through, but in the end, you know, there's a silver lining because I ended up being able to transition out with minimal damage to my self.
Right.
Family held it down and didn't
Mhm.
bounce on me. You know what I'm saying? You know, wifey was there. You know,
Yeah.
kids was, you know, everything was good.
Mhm.
She was the glue and all that,
Right.
held it all down. And then, you know, obviously I found my niche. So
Yeah, man, because
You know, that-
you kind of went from 0 to 100 on that too. Like, and I almost sensed your withdrawals when you were trying to disconnect a little bit from the graph community, and you kind of was like, you know, it was like you found religion when you started doing the fine art stuff. You didn't want to, you know, I noticed you didn't really want to revert back to the graph stuff. Maybe because you wanted to dedicate all of your energy towards, you know, the 7-line art studio thing. But how did it feel? Kind of, you know, did you get any withdrawals and shit?
Yeah, there's always kind of withdrawals, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you know,
Right.
you see, you go on Instagram or whatever, social media, or you drive by,
Yeah.
you see something, you know, that's fresh. You're like,
Mhm.
damn. Or, you know, as a writer,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You're always looking at spots.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, damn, that's a nice rooftop right there. I'd like to get that. Wow, look at that freaking clean truck right there. Ooh, that's juicy as hell. You know, you just want to hit it.
Right.
You know, I mean, you never stop looking for spots. You know, and it's like, you know, I mean, if you don't do it for a while, you know, whatever, you kind of settle down a little bit,
Mhm.
and things are slow. You kind of like, you know, you're kind of good for a little while. But
Right.
if you get a little spring there, you know, you take your crank into the damn bathroom of some restaurant you were just eating at, and you just like, you know, let me smack this thing real quick. And you see that the drips and everything, or whatever. It starts, you know, it gets you hyped up. You
Right. And one tag turns into a bombing
know?
mission.
You know
Then
what I'm saying? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, so it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to completely let go. But
Right.
but yeah, you're right. I didn't want to focus all my energies into my new stuff because there's actually a challenge
Yeah.
to doing what I'm doing. You know, because it's kind of like hitting the reset button because it's like starting all over again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get exposure. I'm trying to get some notoriety.
Mhm.
I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to build with new people, a whole different, you know, demographic and everything, and reach out,
Mhm.
you know. And there's so many fresh artists out there in this world today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, you know, I'm trying to find my little piece. You know what I'm saying out there.
Right.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, you know, for me, on the graph side, I could just do one throw up,
Mhm.
and then you know, someone comes across it, throws it on online
Right.
or whatever, and then hashtags this, that, and the other,
Mhm.
and other people start seeing it, and it's like, you know, the buzz is created. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
you know, whatever. And there's no challenge in doing throw ups. It's fun, but it's not challenging. You know. To make, you know, so whatever. But when I'm doing my artwork, it's different. You know,
Mhm.
it's like a whole different thing. You know,
Well-
you know, I'm Tetris the pieces, the faces, and you know,
Yeah.
making it all fit.
Yeah.
And then the colors have to coincide with what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, it has to look nice and flow right. You know, and it's different, you know. And I bring it in different kinds of ways too. I do different styles of my outfit. So, you know, just making it fit and work is a challenge.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But none of those things. I mean, none of those things are ever identical or the same. You know?
Yeah,
So it's different.
I was looking at the latest installation that you're working on, and yeah, it's crazy how, you know, it looks cohesive and you make it look simple, but it's pretty intricate, you know, and you do a good job at, you know what I'm saying, making I don't know, just kind of making it look very, very simple and cohesive. But I was looking at it, I was like, damn, it connects here, connects there, this face leads to that face. And you know, what was your inspiration behind that style of painting?
Well, all right. So I basically like Cubist style art. You know,
Yeah. Okay.
It's you know, like with Picasso and all that stuff. Like, you know,
Right.
and you know, I like the way they make those. You know, like how he does his, you know, his shapes and everything, and his abstraction and stuff like that. When he does his characters and his faces and you know, environment around that. You know, I like that. And then another artist that's out there today, kind of like on a new neo-cubist type, you know, is George Condo.
Okay.
Same thing. But I mean, you know, basically what I'm painting is was originally started off as masks,
Okay.
particularly African style masks.
Yeah.
You know, from a Dada exhibit I had seen, and then I started painting those, and then you know, someone had said to me, you know, you know what all those little symbols and little markings mean, and all that other stuff, and I was like, no. See, they was basically telling me like, hey, this is a problem here because, you know, if you ever get really nice with it and you end up getting galleries and shows and people start asking you questions about your artwork, and you can't really intelligently answer those questions.
Yeah.
You know, one might, and you're not black, you're not African, and you're not from Africa or whatever, any of that stuff. You know, they could easily say you're appropriating our culture, and it could cause a lot of issues for me.
Right.
So I, you know, and I was kind of fighting that person on it because I was like, you know, I'm not really copying any masks or anything like that.
Right.
You know, these masks come from the top of my dome. But they were like, look, it don't matter if it's coming from your dome or freaking off your phone. You know what I'm saying? It really don't matter because it's so heavily influenced that someone, you know what I'm saying, someone's going to definitely come at you sideways. So actually I was really mad about it. I was actually kind of drunk when I started screwing around.
Yeah.
And I started adding, you know, Asian masks, Polynesian masks, Aztec stuff in there. You know, and then I started, you know, abstracting it, and I started throwing arrows and all kinds of other weird things in there that was kind of like, you know, from my graph history and, you know, street art background, whatever.
Right.
And then they started to evolve, and they started to, you know, be really crazy with what was going. And then so basically I was taking all the different cultures of all the different places that I traveled to through my military experience and kind of fuse them all together from past and present cultures. And I added some, you know, modern technology-looking type stuff in it.
Yeah.
You know, with the rockets, the little gear pieces, the faces, the nets, the ported stuff in there, the arrows and the different kind of little bits and pieces that come off it. They're kind of like graffiti pieces, you know. So it kind of has like my military background and my graph background, street art background, all fused into my artwork. Basically, it's, you know, like how the world is today. It's, you know, kind of divided, you know, culturally. So in my little happy world, you know, of art, you know, I just kind of took all the cultures and backgrounds and fused them all together and, you know, combined them all. Like I said, past and present, you know, with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because in my world, you know, we're all unified and all happy, you know, working together in unison. You know what I'm saying? We're all unified. So that's what I'm.
A lot of change,
build
right?
the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Do my artwork, you know?
Right. a lot has changed as far as in your world now compared to how it was before, right? So you put in over 30 years making a name for the name Duel, you know, and now you have to make a name for yourself as the artist now. So it definitely will take a little bit of time, you know, before it gets there. But I could see that based on the effort that you've put in, is gonna do very well. Because from what I noticed, you don't really half-ass anything. You know, you put your best foot forward all the time.
I appreciate that. I do try to put it. I mean, there's, you know, hey, like Big Daddy Kane saying, you know, half stepping. You know, I mean, you really gotta put in work,
right.
And it is really like work because
Mm-hmm.
when I was painting those canvases, I was spending anywhere between a minimum of 4 hours a day,
Yeah.
and anywhere between 4 and 8 hours a day, every day.
Gotcha.
I would draw and sketch, and then I would spend time painting. Then I'd be working on several paintings at one time.
Yeah.
And then even on my sketches, I would write down notes like what day it was, what I was thinking, you know, what was the influence behind this drawing and whatever, what was my mood like, and all kinds of weird stuff. And even if I was doing sketches and drawings and stuff like that, if I didn't, you know, I messed up, I would tear the page out and toss it in the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
I would just write down what I was trying to achieve
Mm-hmm.
with this sketch. And I would circle what I was trying to do, and I would write notes to myself so I would come back. Because I have a really crappy memory.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I could think about something like on this drive I'm doing right now,
Yeah.
on the way back home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by the time I get to my doorstep, damn, I forget what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
what I was going to, you know, write down or try to sketch out. So
Right.
I have to write down notes to myself all the time.
Yeah,
And it's a lot of work.
yeah, it is. I'm the same way. My memory's terrible, bro. I always tell people, charge it to my mind, but not to my heart, because I dead ass be forgetting a lot of things. But that sounds like you're meticulous, like super detail oriented. That's good though, man.
But I also had to do stuff like I wrote down a list of what I wanted to do.
Right.
By the time I got home, like I set up a new Instagram, set up a new Facebook page,
Mhm.
made a new email, started a store, came up with a business card, did my bio, did all my references, trying to put together a little portfolio of some sorts.
Right.
So network, you know, promote.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of work, man. You know, trying to reach out to people
Mhm.
and, you know, taking good photos of your artwork,
Yeah.
progress shots, you know, works in progress, posting it online, you know, researching the best hashtags for whatever it is you're doing.
Mhm.
You know, still trying to, you know, watch other documentaries or go to other shows and look at other people's work, get
Mhm.
inspired by it. You know, continues to draw. But then, you know, I have to balance that out. It's not just like I do that all day.
Right.
You know, I still got to, you know, hit the gym,
Mhm.
go to work, you know, tend to my family, play with my kids, you know, operate my D1NYC.com store,
Right.
you know, network with those guys, try to get, you know, new artists in my store,
Mhm.
you know, and do all those kind of things. And, you know, I'm going to school as well. You know, I mean, it's all kinds of stuff, you know. You know, I probably only get about 3 or 4 hours of sleep a day.
Wow.
And, you know, I try to spend a lot of time focusing on all these things because, you know, you get what you put in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anything and everything you like. You put in 1 hour or, you know, a month,
Mhm.
you get nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know, you put several hours a week, you'll see a little bit more results. But if you're going hard and, you know, freaking, you know, like there's no finish line and you're
Mhm.
going crazy with it, you know, it's bound to pay off. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No.
And that's everything in life. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get what you put in. You know, you
Mhm.
you do shit, you cut corners, and whatever, you get nothing for it. You know, and that's it.
Right.
So, you know,
So now that I know we were just talking about, and that's a good point, man. I think that you definitely get what you put in, and you know, doing things the right way the first time is definitely important. You were mentioning canvases, right? So when, as a writer, right, or you know, an artist or writer, and you've put in your hours of work, and you're ready to sell this canvas at a show, as a writer and as a person who's now a businessman, how do you appraise that canvas?
how do I price them?
Right. So
myself
how do
or
you?
what?
What goes into the appraisal process for you?
Well, starting off with basic stuff like materials,
Okay.
and then about the amount of time that I spent into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also measure. I use do it by cubic, square inches,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So
Well, let me
That's
let me rephrase. How should a writer appraise their work? Not just you.
a writer. I thought. My bad. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
you were talking about like my actual.
No,
not
cool.
like a-
Well, yeah. Let's do first. Let's do the like a writer selling a canvas, and then let's do the artwork. But let's say a writer who's about to sell a canvas. What do you think should go in the appraisal process?
It's kind of hard to say, I guess, because no writer is going to be like, oh, let me lowball myself. Let me do a $10 canvas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's kind of ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think most writers, but at the same time, I don't think writers should get crazy and be like, trying to bash someone in the head and be like, yo, this throw up right here is $500. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, and it's only like a 12 by 12. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
I mean, you kind of, I would say, all right, first off, it has to be like, how prolific that writer is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a good way to start off with that.
Mhm.
I mean, if you only did like a thing for 3 years, or you were a little bit of a fly by night or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You didn't really, really kill it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it'd be appropriate to go and, but then again, this is an opinion, so I hope
Right.
anyone that's listening is like really like, what the fuck's Duel talking about? This guy's fucking out of his fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm also split in the game too.
Yeah.
I have hard time pricing my own stuff. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But I mean, like, I think how prolific is the person?
Right.
How accessible is that person?
Yeah.
And then how fresh is the canvas size and
Mhm.
how detailed it is, and how nice that canvas is.
Right.
Are some of the factors that person should use to price their artwork.
Mhm.
If it's a big ass canvas, I'll charge accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it's someone who killed it, like let's say for example,
Mhm.
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude can work for like 2-3 decades easily.
Right.
All city like fucking like 10, 15, 20 times over.
Mhm.
A perennial star, if you would compare it to the NBA, you know what I'm saying? The dude's a champ, man, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
They'll call him the blueprint for no reason.
Mhm.
The guy has, shit in every damn, every 10 feet, every gate, for all 5 boroughs,
Mhm.
and, if he does a canvas, of his stuff, I think he, for the amount of damage he's done, the time he spent on the streets,
Right.
times his elusiveness and whatnot, I think he should get good money for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like,
Right.
he's not the kind of guy that goes to every show and
Mhm.
wears a shirt that says easy, and if you approach him, he's gonna be like,
With
you
the,
know,
with the
you-
button.
if you got a bag full of black books, just throw them on a table with some Sharpies, I'm gonna hit all of them. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna do that.
Oh shit.
He's gonna tell you he writes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah, you might not
You know,
even be able to
same
meet
thing.
him. Right.
Yeah, a guy like Beaver, same thing. The guy's not going to show up to these events.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or Ghost. And if they do show up to these events, they're in and they're out. And they're going to probably deny who they are, and
Mhm.
that's it.
Right.
And if you do approach them, if you're lucky and if they're in a good mood, they might put a little outline in your book. And if
Mhm.
not, they're probably going to tell you to go eat a dick or something. I don't know. I mean,
Right.
that's how it is. So if they're elusive like that and, whatnot, then, plus like I said, how prolific they are and whatever.
Yeah.
And I think those are factors that goes into, their pricing.
Right. It's interesting how Graph is now. Imagine you go to like this super polished, refined art studio, and you tell one of them to hit your, to give you an autograph, and they tell you to eat a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like the differences.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, all right. So, I mean, like I said, it's very a lot of gray areas in this, because there's a lot of draft shows, and of course, those people that show up there are your supporters. So would you tell them no? I wouldn't let anybody know.
Right.
Y'all sign whatever. You put it in my face. Now I would get. I mean, just be respectful. Obviously, if I'm in the middle of trying to talk to someone, they're interviewing me or they're asking me questions about my artwork, don't be like trying to put a black book in my face. That's kind of rude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you wait till I'm done, I'm saying, hey, could you please hit my book? You know what I'm saying? Sure, I got you, man. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll sign your black book. Kiss a couple of babies. You know what I'm saying? And shake a couple of hands. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not unapproachable. I'm down with all that. You know what I'm saying? It's cool.
Right.
Some of these other writers, maybe not so much, but whatever.
Yeah, no,
but
I agree. I think when not to cut you off, but yeah, with the appraisal process, you're right. I think number one is kind of self-evaluating yourself and knowing your worth. Right?
Yeah.
Because if you sit there and think that that you're on, because if I sit there and say, okay, well, I'm on this guy's playing field and I'm nowhere near there, and I'm oblivious to what and also I think go out there and do some research. If you notice that you're looking
you
at,
gotta be a realist stuff,
Yeah.
You gotta be a realist.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, a guy like Ghost, for example, Cousin Frank. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Guy's been writing almost 40. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely. If I'm at 35, he's definitely got like almost 40. You know what I'm saying?
Or probably over 40.
And you see what you see what he does. You know what I'm saying? You see what he does. The guy layers the shit out of his canvases. 1,000 faces. None of his outlines are ever the same.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a master of blending. And he's nice with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's not even charging that much. It's like $300, $350 for a decent sized canvas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, then you get some dude that has like probably a third of that time or less, or probably no street creds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, at all. But he's nice with it, on canvas, on black book, lead walls, whatever.
Right.
And then he's going to charge, twice as much. You got to check yourself on stuff like that.
Right.
Not saying you're not worth that. If you could get it more, God bless you for getting that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not telling you you're not worth that. So don't, like I said, if you're listening, don't get offended. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just kind of use your head, be sensible about it. But like Ghost had a we were talking about it one day, and he had said this to me. He was like, "Look, I don't I don't want to smash someone over the head with a $600-700 price tag." And, even though I could get it because I have gotten it, and of course, I believe that, but then I might not see another person buy another piece off me for another 2-3 more months.
Right.
I'd rather cut it down for a reasonable price and, reach out to people because, and do different size stuff so that, it hits all different people with all different budget types. And, I'm constantly moving stuff.
Right.
So he's hitting people who are on a budget, or he's hitting people that can afford to get a little bit bigger piece or whatever. And he's got price ranges, for all that different stuff. And, he's like, I'd rather hit him with the small stuff constantly and consistently. So I get my bills paid, my rent's paid, and, I keep it moving and keep it circulating. And he's smart for doing that. It's a good business tactic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, he doesn't lowball himself. I think he could definitely get more, but, I don't think he's really lowballing himself. But at the same time, he's not freaking, making people grab their ankles either. You know what I'm saying? So, he's smart for that.
Well, I that's real smart, and I like that he's making it so that everybody could kind of get a piece of that history. That's a good look. I knew someone who also, when they would do a canvas or they would do something like that, they would literally start a timer every time they started to work, and they would stop when they would stop, and then they would, add up all that time, and they'll say, okay, I worked, 15 hours on this canvas. Am I really gonna sell it for $100? And it's like, hell no, I'm making less than minimum wage for my hard-earned time, because time is money. We can't get time back. Time is super valuable. As family men. Yeah. And look at what you just said earlier. Look how much stuff you have in your plate. And you're making time to, to do this art. So I think definitely appraising, yourself as the person doing it, and then, the time you're putting into it, and then the artistic value. And that's another thing too. like you're good at what you're doing. I've been noticing the stuff that you do is dope. Like it's really artistically good. It's nice. It's appealing. It's stimulating to the eye. There's some people who decide to do canvases, and they're not very good artistically. I do stuff as a hobby, and I don't really sell it. If I was a really good artist, I would consider selling it. But I would have to be very candid with myself to say, okay, well, who's gonna pay for this if I wasn't really up? Like, cool, it looks good. I can draw, but that's where it stops for me, at least.
But you really can't look at it like that, too. I mean, there's
Right.
so many different things, man. Like, in art world, it's totally different. Like, if the right crowd comes across and sees it, and they're like, yo, this dude's that guy, you could be overnight sensation out of nowhere.
Right.
Man.
That's the beauty of the art
But
world,
it's also the beholder, too, because, I mean, like, I've had a lot of people, you've seen my work, and
Right.
I do it, I bring it in different formats. I have my faces of my characters without a hard outline on it. Then I have ones that are actually, each face is actually outlined. And then I also do it where it's the same shapes and characters, but it's brought to you that looks like more like a language style, like almost like hieroglyphics, you know what I'm saying? But you can tell it's the same artist, and I've gotten, I've gotten a mixture of feedback from all different types. I mean, all of it positive, but it's different. It's all in the eye of the beholder, because some people are like, I like this better than that, and then I've heard the things the other way around.
Right.
So you really gotta really put it out there for people to see, and then get the feedback and kind of whatever. But you should definitely paint for you and not really so much for someone else or chasing customer. Just just do your thing, and as you're doing it, you'll get better and you'll evolve, and it'll be real cool. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you get some out of it.
That's what's up. So what do you got going on in your store? What's new in the store, man? What's popping in the store?
Which one?
In the D1 NYC store, because I know that you carry, you're a retailer as well. Besides doing your own stuff, you also retail work, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So I mean, new wise, in the last month, I would say I added some limited prints from Remio VTS.
Okay.
Those are pretty nice. They're like giant posters of on good heavy paper. Hand pulled postal labels, and then he's got his little R on it, and then he hand embellished them all.
Gotcha.
So those are dope. I have a few left, and then a couple of zines by him and some sticker packs by him. I added Giz MTA RISXTC.
Okay.
In there with some sticker packs. He's also making a transition into the fine art world.
Yeah.
And so these Story stickers that he's done are a little bit different than his normal stuff.
Yeah,
but it's still cool.
They look good. Yeah. They look very they look artsy, but they look dope though.
Yeah. You can tell it's a Story, but he did he put a little spin, a new remix, and a new twist on it.
Right.
I just added Cousin Frank in there, but with his alias.
Okay.
AKA 6-pack in there.
That's
I also added a couple of zines in there.
Right.
Added Rat Milk zine from Oceanism from Portland.
Okay.
He's an Asian cat, from Portland. He covers a lot of West Coast and overseas graffiti.
Yeah.
His zines are black and white, or a combination of black and white and color.
Yeah.
Got some pretty cool illustrations in there. A lot of good flickage in there.
Gotcha.
So I carry his zine. I added his zine in there. I added the new Sleipner zine in there from Remio as well. That one's pretty dope. He always puts out good zines. And he's actually the one that showed me how to make zines myself when I was doing Secret Society.
That's what's
and
up.
then last but not least, I added Vifer, WKF, ETA in there yesterday. So I dropped his new 2019 sticker pack in there, and things are going crazy. Some of the people are getting ready to join the
store,
the lineup.
Right.
The lineup is Det Riss MCI.
Okay.
Chaos Inc. He's going to be sending some in. Neo NOG
Okay.
is another. And then who else was out there? Echo MPC
Okay.
and Fade MPC. And then I have a couple other people, but I'm not 100% sure
Right.
what their deal is. But Myro said he was going to do something. He's been in the store before, but he said he was going to do another run with me.
He just debuted that. He just debuted that really that colorful canvas, right? That was
That's
pretty,
correct.
That
Yeah,
was pretty
he
dope, yeah.
I got him into a spot in Australia with
Okay.
Gallery 448.
Nice.
An artist by the name of Karen Farmer got me in her show, and then I asked her if it was cool if I could bring a couple other people on board, and she said, yeah.
Okay.
And so, what do you call it? I added Myro in there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to ask a couple other buddies of mine to get in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, Karen Farmer, if you don't know who she is, she's a really awesome artist, man. She does real dope portraits
Yeah.
of like graffiti scenes. And I don't think she has a graffiti background,
Right.
but I mean, she paints these scenes, they're almost photographic.
Wow.
You know, like she painted a picture of me that I sent to her of me painting my throw up, outlining my throw up at like Miami during Art Basel like years ago, and I sent her a picture of it.
Yeah.
And she painted me on canvas, and I mean, I'm telling you, when you put the photo
Yeah.
and the canvas in a split screen side by side,
Yeah.
I mean, with a quick glimpse, it looks like, you know, it was just like a photo next to another photo. You know what I'm saying?
shit.
And it's crazy. She's that good. But she also paints other things besides that. She paints these magpies, and I'm a huge fan of her artwork, man. She's great, man. So I didn't know she had a gallery, actually. It was really weird. I was giving my daughter a bath,
Yeah.
and I have her painting of my stuff hanging in the hallway. And so I was like, you know, I took a picture of it, and I just sent it to her. I said, hey, you know, once again, thank you for the artwork
Right.
that you did for me years ago. It's hanging in my hallway, and you know, I just wanted to say thanks again. And she was like, yeah, that was one of my favorite paintings to do, and I also like what you're doing now. And I was like, oh, that's cool, thank you. You know, it was like, you know, I would really like to get something like that in my gallery one of these days. I'm like, gallery? What are you talking about? Like, so yeah, Gallery 448. I was like, gallery? I was like, a word? I was like, I didn't know you had a gallery. She said, yeah, you know, I've been following you for a while. And I was like, he said, you've been following me too. I was like, I thought you knew. I was like, I had no idea. So last year, when I got back from being overseas and I got out of the military and retired,
Yeah.
you know, I did a gallery at in Patchogue, Long Island.
Okay.
And then right when I got back, this whole conversation with Karen Farmer went down.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she invited me to her gallery, and so I mailed over 6 unstretched canvases to her in Australia. So she got them and did a last show of the year in December, and she sold one of my pieces for me. So that was pretty cool. She's got another show coming, I think, at the end of this month, and this time I sent 2 more pieces to add to the 5 that she's already got of mine right now. But this time I sent over a traditional style throw-up, but, you know, it was a throw-up that had a much layered background. And the second canvas I sent was another layered throw-up, but this time I kind of did a little hybrid thing with it. I did some of my artwork that I do now, my Seven-Line stuff, and you know, and combined it with my traditional throw-up. So, you know, when she hangs it on the wall, you'll see the traditional throw-up, and you'll see one that's kind of a hybrid, a little of the throw-up, a little bit of the artwork, and then you'll see the artwork behind that. So you'll see the transition, and it'll hopefully that tactic will allow people to realize, okay, this is the same artist, and they can make the connection. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's a good look, man. I'm definitely gonna check her shit out. She sounds like she's amazing, my nigga. Like I'm definitely gonna check it out.
You have to see her work, man. I'm telling you right now, it's crazy. And you know, the first time I seen her work, she painted easy. I think she painted easy.
Oh,
she
I
did
think
2 paintings for him.
I think I saw that one.
And then I seen her do one for Seb TDP, and I seen her do like numerous other artists. I mean, from like all over the world, like, you know, from Freight Train, Truck Bombing. I seen one at Remyo's house, you know, where he did the truck, or he did the truck, and she painted it. I mean, it was crazy. She does people's throats as if she's the artist herself, and it's dead on. I mean, it's crazy.
Really?
She knocked my stuff out the park, and I was like, man, that is so crazy, man.
She's better than some of
Because
them.
people, I mean, there's like other artists out there that I've been friends with that are good at imitating stuff,
Right.
you know, and you know, messing around,
Right.
and you know, I'm pretty good at doing other people's throws time to time too.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, she nails some of these things. You know, I mean, it is crazy. You know,
That's dope, man.
It's just amazing.
It's dope. Yeah. I was gonna say it's dope because, you know, if you're gonna pay for that kind of, you know, if she's gonna make the whole person come to life, it's dope that she can make his artwork come to life too.
Yeah, totally, absolutely, man. You know, but you know,
that's what's up, man. Yeah, so I'm glad your store is thriving. I'm glad you're getting a lot of talent, a lot of credible talent up in your spot. You know, the fact that writers are comfortable enough to, you know, keep it all on the one umbrella, kind of let you be that sometimes exclusive provider of their art is dope, because, you know, writers are usually not accessible. You know, they don't want to be bothered with people. They don't want to meet people. So I'm glad you are able to cut out, you know what I'm saying, that awkward, you know, that awkwardness, you know, and uncomfort of people wanting to meet other people. So that's a good look. Plus, for a collector, that's dope that you can go to one shop and kind of find everything. You don't got to go to one store, let me go to somebody else's store. You know, being able to go to a reputable source that and you have multiple options. You know what I'm saying? You can sit there, go in, just add to cart, and then check out, and you got everybody you needed. You know, so it's pretty dope.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, originally I was doing stuff on eBay, but, you know, like, you know, I mean, it's kind of hard, you know. I mean,
right.
You know, people have to know what your handle is on eBay, and, you know, it's a 7-day auction, and it ends all the time, and, you know, you have to pay these fees just to list it. I mean, like, why not open up your own store? So I opened up my own store. Initially, it was just a couple of items in there. You know, it was real basic. It was just me, and then just, you know, like just typical Subway map, a couple of stickers here and there, a couple of this and a couple of that. But then I started adding other products in there, and then I suddenly ran out of room, and then I upgraded the store so I could add more product. But the number was so much higher than what I had needed. I invited Part TDS, and then Vfer. Originally, he had a couple of extra T-shirts for one of his gallery shows that he had. Yeah. He's like, "Can you help me move these?" And I was like, "Sure." So I threw those guys in there, and then it just took off from there. I just started adding more and more people and whatnot. And then you know, I was doing it because, you know, I was doing it for them because they didn't have the time, nor some of them might not have been savvy to open up their own store. Yeah. You know, but they also didn't want to deal with DM me for prices, and, you know, you spend like a whole entire day talking to some clown about, yo, I gotta need, I need to have that, yo, that shit is fire, blah, blah, blah. And then you know, oh, hit me on the DM if you're really interested in some work, and they're like, how much for a canvas with this and for that, and blah, blah, blah. Throw a couple of characters, put a cloud on it like this, and put some 3D on it like that, and put some, you know, polka dots on there like the 70s and all this other stuff. And by the time you're done customizing the shit out of the canvas, and then they're like, how much? You're like, $450, and, you know, plus ship. And all of a sudden, the guy goes quiet on you. You know, you never hear from that guy again. So now you stuck with
a polka dot canvas.
You know, exactly. You know,
with their name on it.
So alleviate all that mess and whatnot, and mitigate all that dumb time wasting.
Right.
You know, I took the artist and put him in my store.
Yeah.
You know, the description's there. It tells a brief description of the artist and what they're known for and what you're getting for it. You know what I'm saying? The dimensions are in there, the price, the shipping's all in there. If you want it, go get it. If you don't, then hey, someone else go get it. If whatever, you know, and no big deal. You know, plus there's other artists that are out there that are still actively bombing, and obviously they don't want to give their information because if you got to pay someone through PayPal, it's going to say you paid, you know, John Smith or whatever their name is, you know, that's on there, and then, you know, and it might even have their address on the damn label or whatever, and it's going to expose them, you know?
Right.
You know, and, you know, that's not a good look, you know what I'm saying? That's just going to, you know, leave breadcrumbs right to your doorstep or confirm your identity. So I do that to help them with that as well.
Right.
And, you know, I take a small percentage out of it, but it's really minimal, and it's not even really to make money off the artist. It's just to, you know, cover the state tax and then the PayPal fee and then the shipping supplies and, you know, all the things that it requires to, you know, move other people's art, you know, curate their stuff.
Right.
You know, because it takes time. I mean, people think it's like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, just throw it in your store. Well, first off, I have to go and freaking damn take all your stuff and lay it all out and whatnot, and then try to take the best photo I can so the photo itself, you know, sells the work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if the photo sucks, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to work. Like, let's say if I had, you know, freaking some, you know, like, some Chino BYI stickers on, you know, and I have it next to a pair of dirty socks and a thong. You know what I'm saying? People are like, I don't want them. You know what I'm saying? If I take, you know, the crispy, juicy, you know, chill tip, you know, Chino BYIs, and I have it on, you know, on a table, and it's, you know, nice lighting and everything, you know, and all that.
You don't want it next to like a sports cup and shit right after.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you got like so TNS, you know, throw ups and what, and it's next to a soiled underwear. You know, it's not gonna do, you know. So,
oh shit.
So I gotta take the picture, and then I gotta write a description on the person. You know what I'm saying? I can't write, you know, come and cut these stickers, ... you get 4, and you know, whatever. People are gonna be like, that doesn't really explain to me nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta write, you know, hey, you know, this dude right here is a must-have. You know, this guy killed it in the 80s, 90s, and 2000 and beyond. You know, he's known for smashing, you know, all lines and, you know, king of the yak yard and rooftops and this, that, and the other. You know, you gotta cop these stickers because there's a small quantity. You know, ain't gonna last very long. You know, he's definitely someone you have to have for your collection and whatever. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put a little description down there, and then you gotta proofread it. Then I gotta contact the artist and let them get a little quick look, make sure I'm accurate. You know, I'm not throwing too much fluff or BS on it, and they approve of whatever it is and the pictures and the pricing and everything else and all that stuff. And once they're done with that, then I got to launch it, and I got to promote that person on social media so they know it's there. And then, of course, you know, when people start coming to the store and buying the stuff, I got to package it and make sure that, you know, it's protected. You know, it's put in a nice cellophane bag. I put extras in there. I seal it up. I protect it with some cardboard. I put it in the thing. I got to go print these damn labels, weigh the damn thing, print out the labels, glue it on there, make sure it's all good, and, you know, whatever, and then take it down to the post office. That's a lot of work involved. You know what I'm saying?
That's mad leg work. Imagine you get employees and shit, and then even, you know, you're doing it by yourself, you know, and I like that. I like that for the most part. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I love the fact that you always put quality behind it. Like, you make sure, you know what I'm saying, the packaging is right, presentation is there, the shit gets sent out right on time. You know, you always take care of the customers. Always customers first. And I know that even I know that even having certain writers in your store is more so to appease the customer and to make sure that they get people that they probably couldn't get access to, even if you're not necessarily making, you know, a killing on it.
Yeah. No, I just, you know, I mean, honestly, I do it for fun. To me, it's exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh snap, someone bought something. It keeps me busy.
Mhm.
You know, I go package the stuff. I send it down there. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? I like doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't make much off of it. I don't really care. But, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? I put these other artists in there in hopes that when they buy, let's say they buy a V for, they buy a trim TNC or a freaking, an easy RLB or whatever,
Yeah.
that they'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to grab this dual RIS joint here while I'm at it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or they grab something else. They grab a T-shirt, or they grab, a JA XTC Subway map. They grab,
Mhm.
a couple of pilots or whatever ink I have in the store,
Yeah.
and they grab a couple other things off. So, it's cool. That's
Yeah.
what it's really there for. But it's nice, to do it, and it is for the customer because,
Mhm.
it's a no. I got to imagine if I was, copping stickers and I had to reach out to 6 different artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I hope that they shipped it out right away, and I got tracking numbers, and all 6 of them, arrive and they're in good condition. Because I've heard from so many of my customers, the horror stories. They're like, "Thank God for your store, man. You ship quick. You always have like the best dudes in here that I would never be able to find or meet."
Mhm. Mhm.
I've been always one half guy, and then I always hear stuff like, that they actually contacted certain artists,
Yeah.
and even though they sent the stuff out, but they didn't take any, TLC and put it in their packing, and so when they got their stuff, it was like, rain got on it, or it got bent, or the freaking damn mailman folded it like a taco and shit, or whatever the fuck, I mean, it looked like shit, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, when they get there, and I take the time to make sure that they, all them things are mitigated, you know what I'm saying, that they don't get a crappy product,
Right.
that, and then I also, people know that I know people and,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
whatnot, and when I have their stuff in store, they know that it's an authentic piece. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
if say for example, if Easy's like, hey, go check out my man at D1 NYC,
Mhm.
obviously it's legit. You know what I'm saying? That it's actually that person.
Right.
But I mean, if someone thinks that it's fake, you got to be retarded because, like, first of all, I'm putting it online, like, and it's in my store, like,
Right.
for chump change, do I really want to like destroy my credibility, get my ass kicked over a couple of bucks? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? Like,
mhm.
all money ain't good money. I ain't about to do some GL stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do no light box shit. I'm not whipping out projectors, tracing paper, and being like, yo, get this collabo of Dondi CIA with freaking JA. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, freaking, it's not,
Totally
not,
out of this world.
you know,
Not
yeah,
possible.
it's not the thing I would do.
Right.
For
Right.
like what, $100, $200, like, and then, people be like, oh, hey, I think that's fake, like that. I don't know if that Dondi don't look like it, like it's official.
Right.
But the J's, what I'm saying, like, yeah, I believe that they actually collabed on this, what I'm saying, like, and beat somebody over the head for it. And I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm saying, like,
And that's
keep it honest as possible and whatever.
Yeah, the integrity piece is key. But yeah, you're right. When that happened, that shit fucked up. That was just fucked up. And then it was with friends, and just a lot of people got hurt without, what I'm saying, and it shouldn't have went down like that. But I'm glad that you do your shit with integrity. Of course, I mean, it was never a question. I never, that was never ever a question with me. I think like I said, man, it's a good look, bro. I really love what you're doing, what I'm saying, with the stickers and providing a shop. It's not just about the stickers. I know that you like to, do other things as well. The stickers are dope. I personally have like a collection myself, so I know that getting certain writers in there is is dope to have, man. A lot of people passing away lately. Not that I want to talk about death and shit, but you never know when these people are gonna be gone, and you'll never have that chance to meet them or see them again, or So it's just insane, bro. With history, graffiti is history, bro.
Yeah, you're right, man, and it's true. You never know when someone's gonna be gone. I mean, I was like eyeballing the Is the Wiz canvas for a hot minute, and it was like a canvas board, and I was like, do I really want a canvas board? It was $40,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, man, it's $40.
Yeah.
Canvas board. I don't know. I was being cheap. I don't know what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he passed away. May he rest in peace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
no, man. I mean, all of a sudden I was like, oh damn, and
Right.
I regretted it ever since.
And you saw how you said, not to cut you off, but you saw how you said not good money is not all money is good money, right? I know that had you bought that canvas for that $40, right? You wouldn't have looked at it and said, "Yeah, I paid $40 for that." You would have looked at it and be like, "Yo, this dude right here was king, man. May he rest in peace." Like, it's a different type of money that goes into that canvas.
Dude, I want to bang my head on a wall every time I think about that situation, man. You know how mad I am at myself for that shit? Because I mean, I love that guy's stuff, and I met him a few times, and he was really cool. I mean, he was a freaking, a gem of a human being, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, I wasn't really making money like that at that time.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, at the time that I really, even though $40 is really nothing if you really look at the grand scheme of things,
Right.
and the person she was getting it from,
Yeah.
you know, but I was kind of like half stepping, and I was like, oh, and I hesitated,
Right.
and then you know, I missed my opportunity to have a piece of history, a legendary piece of history in my collection.
Right.
So, you know, whatever. And plus, you know, it would have been nice to support the guy when he was around. You know what I'm saying? So I regret that.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to, you know, ever since that situation happened, I try to support where I can support,
Right.
you know?
Right.
With piece of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, I don't really exactly have the wall space in my crib right now to be, you know, having an art gallery full of, you know, throw-ups and all this other stuff. But, you know, I have pieces at my crib, you know what I'm saying? I try to support where I can. But even if I can't support by buying something from the person, I mean, I will try to help a person out always. And, you know, not even just through my store, but like in general, if they have, you know, questions about things and like how I do stuff or, you know, they have a, you know, what do you think of this? And they want suggestions or how would you approach this?
Yeah.
You know, hey, door is open to any writer that wants to hear it. You know, they got a few minutes to like jaw jack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll share my information with that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, whatever, you know? I don't see a need to like hold back and like be selfish with my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm always down to help the next guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's it, you know? You know, and, you know, that's what it should be about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, pretty
And,
much.
you know, is the Wiz to the side, you know, again, rest in peace. I kind of feel the same about canvas boards. Every time they come up, I'm like, damn, but it's a canvas board. I don't know.
Well, that's what kind of like
Yeah.
made me hesitate.
Right.
If it had been like, is the Wiz, you know, 18 by 24 on stretch canvas, and it wasn't made out of markers.
Yeah.
It was like actual, you
Right.
know, spray paint, you know, and filled in, misty, and all that. I mean, but then it would probably be $40. But you know,
But that's
I mean, I
okay.
would've probably,
Yeah, I would have dropped 250, 300 on
You know,
Is the
I'm like-
Wiz.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I've been going on Graffiti Loser for the last few weeks, like trying to catch that juicy ass scene on there and get one of those shits to my collection. But
Right.
every time I go in there, it's either a color that I don't particularly want,
Yeah.
and if not that, then it's always sold the fuck out. And I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, he sells
what I'm
out.
saying?
He sells out quick. He has a good business,
Like,
and
yo, that shit ain't in there for long, man. It's like, damn.
right. Yeah, he sells out quick. He runs a good business, and you can tell by looking at his page, and the way he conducts his business that he's been burned in the past, and he decided to do it all in house. That's the kind of the
You know what? There's people that are greedy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They put some Don King shit on them. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They're like, oh, word, scene, Godfather Graffiti.
Mhm.
Shit, I'm about to eat off this motherfucker right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they did that to him. You know, and
Yeah.
that's why, you know, whatever.
They
But that's
probably-
why a lot of right skeptical about stuff anyway. You know what I'm saying?
And he's
You
been
know?
doing this for a long time.
With
So
the
they
reach
probably
to your pocket.
Yeah, my bad. They
Yeah.
probably hit him off to do a gallery. They probably gave him like 3,000 in the 80s, and they probably ate like a fat cat for like 10,000, 12,000 back then, and threw him bones.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
Yep, they probably did. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And for back then, that was a lot of money. That was a lot of money. You know?
Yeah.
So throw all that shit to a writer.
know?
It's like, damn, that's good money. I'll take it, you know. And then don't ask no questions and shit. That's like the movie. You ever seen the movie Blood In Blood Out? It's
Of course.
Yeah, remember,
Classic.
yeah, you remember the one who used to paint, and they were jerking him around for the pay, and he wanted more money. I don't know if you remember that. He was a dope artist actually. That's one of my favorite movies too.
I didn't watch that movie to watch no art scene, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, that was a ill movie. That was, you know, you had the Aryan Nation, the BGA, the Black Guerrilla Army, La Onda. That's a legendary.
Yeah. I mean,
legendary
it
flick.
was a good movie. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of
Good classics like that.
Yeah. American Me and freaking, you know, Colors and all that good stuff, you know?
Hell yeah, all them gang movies and shit. So yeah, man, it's been dope.
Oh, yeah.
It's been dope kicking it with my nigga D. You know, my man D1 NYC on IG. You know, Big Duel MCI. You know, again, this is Heck and Duel. Just having a quick conversation. You know, just chopping it up, catching up, and letting you guys know the type of stuff we talk about and kind of what to expect going forward. Anything else you want to say, D?
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, actually the purpose of this whole entire recording right now is, you know, is because we're going to put together a podcast with the both of us. So just to let people know, we're gonna start recording our conversations and bringing up topics, you know, and just discussing them openly. And eventually we'll start bringing, you know, other people in another three-way or like an interview type setting. And we're going to talk about everything from, you know, under the sun, basically from graph to current events to, you know, hip-hop scenes and everything in between. You know, so that's what we're out here trying to do. This was a little dry run. So I guess I was getting interviewed, even though we weren't trying to do an actual interview. But we just...
But this is
all good. It's a trial and error phase.
This is our typical conversation though, all the time. Anyway, this is the type of shit we talk about on a regular.
This is like a preliminary or like kind of like a you know, inaugural freaking little show, because I guess we're gonna chop it up, edit it, whatever we're gonna do with this, and I'm gonna post it up. But there's gonna be more recordings in the future. That we're gonna do. We're gonna bring up some other things, and it's all on the fly. So you know, no rehearsals, none of that stuff. It's all impromptu, and we're gonna try to talk about topics that you know, people want to hear about. You know, and like I said, it's you know, it's gonna be growing as we go. So I hope that people enjoyed listening to this little segment, and as we continue to build, we'll keep you posted of everything and all that.
You got it. You know what I'm saying? You heard it here. You heard it here. Particulars to come. Eventually, you guys will be able to send in questions. If you got, you know what I'm saying, maybe even call in. We'll do some live broadcast. As we grow, we hope that you grow with us. You know, keep it real out there. Be true to yourself as always, and that's it, man. Let's keep the culture alive, man. Graffiti is disappearing little by little, so let's keep those memories alive and just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real.
Yeah. I also want to say before you cut me off,
sure.
freaking, I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in, and also everybody that has shown me love and supported me over the last freaking, you know, since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. So thank you very much, sincerely, for real.
You got it, bro. We appreciate it. It's all love here, man. You know what I mean? We out of here.
All right, peace.
Peace.